Hi everyone, welcome back to KK's Quilt Studio. It's Marilyn. I'm here today to tell you that there's always more than one way to do anything. Um, Whatever makes the best sense to you and makes uh, everything in your little brain click, that is probably the best way to do it. There are so many folks out there who are so helpful and so knowledgeable and have such great information. And that's what I want to talk about in my ProStitcher Designer group on Facebook. Someone asked a question, and there are just so many good answers. And I thought I would throw just one more answer in there. So that's the subject of this video. Hey, if you like this video, go down there and check the like box, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel so that you'll see anything new that comes out here on YouTube. Back to my Facebook group, someone posted this picture about a wiggle stitch. She wanted to do a stitching in the ditch around her blocks and needed to know how to align it. Some of the things she was thinking about in ProStitcher Premium just weren't working out, and she used the collective of our group to get some really good ideas. The first person suggested that she go to the uh, ProStitcher Designs folder. See, it's over here, or C drive under Designs and under Continuous Line. There is a serpentine type stitch called Spine 1. I think that one would probably be the best one. So let's click on that one and open it up. Okay, it comes in really super big, but that's not a problem. We can make it smaller, width and height. We'll make one about 2 inches by 3/4. It's okay. That looks like it'll work. Then we would go to repeat, and say I'm making this for a 12-inch block. Okay, that repeat that about 6 times, and that brings me up here in the top of the screen. You'll see the width is 12 inches. My height is still at 0.75. Okay, we need to get this lined up. So I'm in Simulator at my computer because it's so much easier to see this rather than me poking around and getting fingers and hands in the way at my computer. So same technique at your computer, at your tablet, at your machine. Make sure that you're in Simulate here for this purposes, and I'm going to grab the crosshairs of my machine. Say my block begins right here, and then I will go up to modify and reposition. So I want to move that green crosshairs up here to match the crosshairs, which represents the needle of my machine. So I'm going to click start point. But what block, say, is not quite lined up? Say if you move the head of your machine from this corner of your block down this block to the next corner, doesn't quite line up. So how do you do that? Okay, let's go back here. So start here. That's my start point. And then I'm going to go to the rotate. On the modify tab, choose rotate from the ribbon. Okay, we're going to start here. We set that point. I'm going to click the 2 point. Okay, that helps me just slightly off. Say my point is right down here, or even let's say it's not quite exactly 12 inches. Pretty close. You know what happens. Things stretch, things twist. So let's go ahead and set our end point for there. And that just about moved it in position. I want, because I was a little bit shorter, so I'm going to have to do some other modifications because this will bring me down to the same horizontal point. I'll need to go to resize to make that fit just perfect. So I can use, I'm width, have not clicked my lock aspect ratio because I just want to make this a tad shorter. So I can click the minus sign there. Perfect. Bam. We are set. So I'm lined up this corner of my square and over here at my starting point. I'm ready to go to ProStitcher, start quilting. Okay, let's try something else. PaolaJo of Seder Quilts jumped in. She's a great help and she is knowledgeable in so many fields. She had a couple videos that she wanted to share using the wiggle ditch. She's shown here, and I'll link this video. She has a YouTube channel as well, and she was using this wiggle ditch to make a block. Or perhaps you want to do a stitch in the ditch with that wiggle stitch going all the way around. Getting it to be computer perfect might be a little bit of a challenge, but let's go over to ProStitcher Designer. I'll show you a couple different ways to tackle this problem. Now I say problem, but it's not really a problem. What I want to do is make this a continuous run going all the way around the block, and I don't want to have to set each of these lines. So let me show you how I did it in ProStitcher Designer. Here we are in ProStitcher Designer, and the first thing, I'm on a fresh page, so I am going to start in Tools. I'm going to draw my own wiggle ditch. So if you have another computer system or another long arm computer system, you don't have ProStitcher Designer, here's how you can create it in ProStitcher Studio. I'm going to start with the 3-point arc tool and probably want to turn on snap to grid. So I've snapped to grid lines, snap to grid. Okay, I'm going to go here and here, here, click and click. That just makes sure that my points are all on target and they land right in those intersections. Okay, done drawing. I've got a little wiggle ditch. It's about 2 inches by about half an inch. Now I can make those bigger, or I can scrunch it up. Right now I can go to any size. I can make just a tad slightly smaller. But now I'm going to go to stitches. I'm going to apply stitches. So now that has stitches, go to File, and I'm going to save it as a special file. I'm going to create a motif. So I'm going to say Save Motif. I have already done this. I called it KK Wiggle. I gave it a name different from all these numbers or ones that come with ProStitcher Studio, ProStitcher Designer. I created my own and I put my initials first, KK Wiggle. So .mtp, that tells me that it's a motif file, MTP, and I'm going to name it and save type. I'm going to click save. Now I've already saved this one, so I don't need to replace it, but now it is in my library of motifs. So I will go to Home, open a new page, and we're going to draw that that 9-patch block. So I'm going to scroll out here a bit. I'm scrolling on my mouse wheel, and I navigator block, move around. I need to back out just a tad more. I'm going to make this block. Let's see, 6 by 6. What else do I have? 6. Or I can just make it 3 by 3 here. So now I'm tools, line, not pencil, line, or hit the L, letter L on your keyboard. Okay, and I'm going to start here. I still have my snap to grid on. So I'm going to go from the -3, I'm looking at the ruler, +3. And PaolaJo did this in her video. So if you want to go to that video, it is notated down in the bottom of the screen. And whoops, that's not how she drew. Back up space. I'm going to and then across, down, across. I want to get my square. How she drew this. Up, go up here, and every time I'm going to a point, clicking, and I want to do my vertical. Okay, I have my snaps to guide our grid lines on, so I don't have to be right on top of it. I want to close my square because right in here haven't got any stitches yet. So I can either click here or click all the way down here. I'll just go ahead and click here, and then I won't have stitches. Okay. All right. I can right click or click off onto select, and I've got my square done. So this represents my 9 patch, and I want to sew in all the ditches, so in the seam allowances of my 9 patch quilt. Okay, here we are back. I'm going to go to preview. I'm going to apply stitches. Okay, but those are running stitches, aren't they? So go over here to your properties area, and we're going to change that standard run stitch to a motif. And I'm going to go all the way down. Here is my KK wiggle. Okay, before I select apply, my pattern length is really, really small. So probably want to go probably about 5 millimeters. Okay, scrunch this down. I got to find my apply button, and boom, there it is. Turn off my grid so you can see just a little bit better. There is that wiggle ditch. What do you think? I did it. I did that in ProStitcher Designer, and I can repeat that wiggle stitch anywhere I want to use it because I've saved it in my selections of motif stitches. Now, if I want to change that pattern length, I want to make them a little bit wider, I can always change that pattern length up time, and then remember to click apply. And there I can make those serpentine stitches just as big as I want. So yeah, like PaolaJo said, there's always more than one way to skin that rat. So if this is what I want or to go around the stitch in the ditch in my blocks, remember if you have ProStitcher Designer installed and activated at your laptop, now you can just send it over to your machine. You can send it to ProStitcher Premium, and well, it zoomed way out. That's that. Center my screen, push it. There we go. There's the pattern. So it's going to stitch all the way around. All I have to do is size this and set it to my block on my quilt. So you can do it one of two ways. You can go find that pattern up here in the designs under the continuous line, or you can create your own serpentine stitch and apply it to a block. So, like I said, there's always more than one way. Sometimes it's all of the above. You never know. So go watch PaolaJo's video. I thank everybody who replied and helped out the person who had the question. Um, so if you haven't already, join my Facebook group. Go over and look for the ProStitcher Designer Diner. We'd love to have you, and we're looking forward to you joining our group or throwing something out there that we all can help with. Thanks so much for viewing my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.